Hey, so your name Tati. Oh my god, I look so fucking stupid. I look like I want to beat Sanaa Lathan up in Love and Basketball for losing us the game. I look like I want to whip her ass. Don't I look like the person that would whip Sanaa Lathan's ass in Love and Basketball? I look like I should be one of Nelly's background dancers back in the 2000s. Oh my god, I took my cornrows out. Why did I do this and put my twist back in? I should have kept the cornrows. I look stupid. Okay. You know what? Let's just get into the video, alright? Don't mind my hair. Let's just get into the fucking video. Okay, hey, so my name's Tati, back again with another video. Today's video, we will be ranting and raving about season 7 and the effects of West Allen with COVID-19. Okay, so this Sunday on the DC Fandom website, and you go to Watchverse and you can watch the extended version of the interview with the cast of The Flash. I kind of felt like it was worthless. They didn't tell us anything new. It seemed like a lot of things were cut and edited wrong. There was no really banter. There was no facial expression. There was no real energy. Like, it just wasn't like how it usually is when it comes to The Flash. Like, usually when we're watching interviews with The Flash, they're laughing, they're joking around with each other, they're having a good time. But watching this one, I was kind of disappointed. I felt like it was a waste of time because they edited so much and because it was always kind of like a question and then the actor answers versus like a question and then an actor will interact with the other actor, you know, like they'll talk, they'll agree, you know, the producer will come in, he'll say his spiel and then the actor will come in. Like, it just felt very choreographed. It was edited heavily and you could tell because the facial expressions were not going with anything that the actors were saying. Like, the journalist would ask them a question, the actor would answer, and then when they would show other people's reaction, it was just like cold stone face. So I was just like, yeah, this was whack. It was a waste of time, and I'm glad it was free because it was definitely a waste of time. But yeah, let's talk about a few things that happened in the interview. So first, before I even get into West Allen, I want to talk about Eric. Listen, I know that a lot of people have complained about this season, but I feel like Eric did a great job with what he was given. I always say this. I always say at the end of the day, while Eric is planning stuff and creating stuff and, you know, coming up with new ideas and, you know, he sees a future for season 8 and 9 or however many seasons he sees the show lasting for, and, you know, he has all these creative ideas and he's switching things and turning things around and making arcs for people and giving them a better story. At the end of the day, someone is signing his check. So he can't do as much as we think he can. Like, oh, Eric, you need to change the entire show. At the end of the day, someone's signing his check. So he really, while I feel like he is going into the right direction and he is trying to do some changes, at the end of the day, he still has to answer to someone, is what I'm saying. And so with him having to answer someone, I feel like season 6 was great. Could it have been better? Yes. It was flawed heavily, but it was way better than season 5. Way better than season 5, and I think that Eric will handle Nora's character whenever she pops back up way better than Todd did. That's just my opinion. And then on top of that, I will not bash Eric. You will not see a black woman bashing a black man. I'm just not gonna do that. I can critique him, but I'm not gonna bash him. Period. I feel like he did a great job. I feel like he had way better episodes than season 5 had. Season 5 didn't have one great episode. Season 6 had more than a couple. It had a few great episodes. The whole Temptation of Barry Allen, that 2-part thing was fabulous. The Billions of Possibilities episode 2 was amazing. Episode 10 with Mira Ivers was amazing. Like, so he had a couple of great episodes. He had a few episodes that deserved to be written about in articles, is what I'm saying. Can't say the same for season 5. That's why I'll always say that season 6, you know, really put the Flash back on the map because it was going downhill. And while, yes, the ratings are still going down, it's still the #1 show on the CW. Anyways, on to other news. The journalist asks I hate to call him a journalist because I don't remember his name, but he asked a question to Eric saying like, okay, with the state that the world is in right now, will they talk about that on the show? Will they explore that on the show? I was hoping that Eric said no. I don't know if this is true, but I did come across an article where he said he was going to do it in a fun way. And I don't know, I just kind of felt indifferent about that. I didn't, you know what, I'm lying. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I don't like that. If it is true, because I didn't read the article, I kind of just skimmed it and I saw, and people were DMing it to me, where he said that he was kind of gonna do it in like, not necessarily funny, but make it like light. And I don't think that anything dealing with police brutality and Black Lives Matter, I don't think anything should be light pertaining that, right? But he did say that he was going to give the storyline to Joe, which I think is fine. My only problem with it is this show started off being geared towards a white audience. This show was not geared towards people of color. It was geared towards a white audience, meaning that they never discussed race. If this show was geared towards people of color, every race in general, they would have to talk about race. They would have to. Iris being a Black woman, Barry growing up in a Black household, they would have to talk about it. But the show being geared towards a white audience, it was never geared towards us. It just wasn't. They never talked about race. They never talked about color, ever. So so now it's going into season 7 for them to talk about it. I don't know how that's going to be received. I don't know how they're going to do it. Hopefully Eric will spin it in the right way where people don't become defensive about it. People don't get irritated by it. People don't see it in a negative light because he's making so light of the situation, or he's, because it's a fantasy world, he's going a little bit too hard. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do, but hopefully he spins it in the right way where it's like, okay, I get it. I like this. This is great. On to what's important. On to what sells every Tuesday night. On to, what's keeping the Flash in its slot since season 1, unlike the other shows who have moved around multiple times on different nights. Period. Wes Allen. Okay, so in the interview, the journalist asked, or the interviewer asked Grant and Candace, how will they, well, it was a fan question from Jamaica talking about, will we get more romantic scenes going forward in season 7 between Barry and Iris, not just Mirror Iris and Barry. And I just felt like when Candace answered the question, I just felt like it was very weird. She didn't even answer it. I was just like, but she didn't answer the question. All she did was say, Grant and I have great chemistry together, even the way we look at each other. And it kind of just, the camera panned to Grant and he had like this blank facial expression, which I knew was edited because whenever Candace talks, nobody has a blank facial expression on their face. It's proven. It's factual, okay? So I was just like, first of all, she didn't answer the question, and then this is just weirdly edited. And then Candace Patton actually, after seeing the post that Warner Brother put up on their Instagram, she said, to be fair, my response is edited here. I speak on the unfortunate side effects of COVID-19 and what that means about the closeness of the actors for the foreseeable future. So there might be less contact between Barry and Iris because of that, but, in quotation marks, and this is where the edit picks up, quotation marks, in quotation marks. Grant and I have always been able to sell the closeness and romance between our characters in other ways, so that connection of sorts will not be lost. Yeah, I felt like it was. I felt like it was edited, and I'm glad that she gave us more clarification of what she was talking about, because I was like, this, okay. So yeah, with COVID-19, I put the beanie on because I couldn't stand looking at my hair anymore, so I just changed it to a beanie, okay? Don't judge me. All right, back to what I was saying. Yes, so Candace Patton said what she said, and I knew that it was edited. And she gave us more clarification to what she was talking about, dealing with COVID-19 and how Barry and Iris will move forward with coronavirus going around, and how they'll be able to interact with each other without having physical interactions with each other, right? And so, first of all, I'm not upset about it. I'm not, you know, other people could be upset, but at the end of the day, I'm all for safety of the actors. You know, they are going through a lot. You know, they have to go to a place to film 8 to 9 months out of a year every year, and then now to find out that they have to actually stay there. They cannot visit their families, you know, and I think someone said they can't visit their families or go anywhere until like December, like Christmas time. So that's a long time without going without your family, going without your loved ones, and then they're on top of that, they're working long hours out of a day. So I'm very sympathetic to them. You know, they have families, they have lives outside of their jobs. And it seems like the way it's written down, it seems like they won't be able to live, you know, with how everything is set up. But yeah, I'm glad that Candice Patton gave us clarification of what she was talking about in regards to Barry and Iris. Hopefully, since Eric said that episode 20 is already 80% done, hopefully Iris has gotten out of the Mirrorverse by then, and Barry and Iris had a moment together, right? Whether if it was a warm embrace or a kiss, you know, hopefully it's something where they can touch, right? Because it seems like in season 7 they won't be doing any of that. So yeah, which I think is fine. I feel like Grant and Candice do know how to work Barry and Iris so well to where they're in a room together, and it just, you know, they could just pull off anything as Barry and Iris, even if it's just a look, just a glance. They've done it before in season 3. Why not do it now? And on top of that, they can insinuate a lot. The romance has been lacking since season 5. Tremendously has been lacking, and for West Allen to be like the selling point, West Allen has never been like the focal point, like the main focus of any season. Well, you could say season 3, and you could kind of say season 1, but it's never been the focal point. Like Flash, Barry becoming a superhero has always been the focal point, always been the main focus, and West Allen is not far off. But West Allen sells, and I think they know that, and that's why they talk about it at every Comic-Con, just for it to dwindle and be downplayed once the season starts, right? They talk about West Allen heavily at Comic-Con, make us all excited just for it to not be shit by the time the season unfolds, right? And so this go around, I feel like they have to really go in on West Allen, just because we won't be getting any physical connection between them. I don't know how far they can go. Maybe they can hold, I don't even know if they can hold hands. I don't know if they could, maybe a side hug. I don't know how far. It's all up to the actors and what they want to do on their show, the producers, and you know, and what they want to do and what they feel comfortable with. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not saying they should do anything they're not comfortable with. If they want to stay far apart and just talk, let them stay far apart and just talk. At the end of the day, it's all about being safe. And then on top of that, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about, well, West Allen can't do this, West Allen can't do that. There are ways that they can get around it, all right? They can insinuate the fuck out of everything that they doing. Like, oh, remember last night? Yeah, I remember last night. And they could be across the room from each other talking about inappropriate shit in front of Team Flash, right? It could be a glance. It could be just a heated look. It can be anything. They have ways of pulling off things. They've done it before in season 3. They can do it again. And I'm not excited about season 7. I will never be excited for another season of The Flash. I'm just gonna let it play out, because every time I've seen to get excited, it always fails me. So I didn't get excited for season 6, and I loved season 6. I thought it was great. I thought it had great episodes, and I loved the vibe of it. Going into season 7, I don't have any expectations. I just want it to unfold right in front of me. I think Eva is a great villain for the first half of season 7. And I would love to see the aftermath of how Iris will be, like the side effects of Iris getting out of the Mirrorverse, and how she will handle her life out in the real world. I would love to see that. And then I'm actually excited for the artificial Speed Force. That's what I'm excited about, right? Okay, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Oh yeah, Caitlin's getting a boyfriend. Or Killer Frost is getting a boyfriend. I hope it's not Chester. I hope it's not Chester. That's gonna be wrong. And then we have to look forward to the Citizen. Nash is getting a storyline. I don't know why. Cecile is getting an upgrade on her powers. I don't know why. Joe's getting a storyline, great, even though he's kind of old now. And they should have gave him a storyline back in season 4, but okay. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and now.